Now that the blood is flowing again, we can start talking. Program Director, let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the leadership in our midst. A lot of people have been acknowledged, but in order for me to keep my job, I need to also acknowledge the political leadership in our midst, especially the leadership in my organization. The President, Mr. Paul Hall, in our presence, the Chair of the Youth Chamber, the Youth Chamber, Ndate Rantekeng Mudisenyane. I also want to acknowledge the presence in our midst of our stalwart, Muhlompei Chris Gianni. I saw that he brought the family today. It's good when stalwarts show us, President, that when we come to such auspicious gatherings, so that we can expose them to these things. It's very important, especially when it comes to our kids. They need to be exposed to these things. You know, when you meet with these things on the streets, how to now the access are wrong, because you have never been taught them in your home setting, or your parents actually did not take time to expose you to these things. And in fact, that is the problem that is facing most of our youth today, that they have to get into business, but it has never been discussed at home. Now you must come to business meetings. How understand the protocol? You don't understand a lot of things. The language is hard, because you have never been exposed to these things before. You see, that's why in most cases we bring the same language that we use in the streets into boardrooms. Then it becomes a problem, because some of us who have never been exposed to the street talk, we are not sure now. How do we interpret this thing? Because remember, you need to be empowered. Now you need to impress those that must empower you. So impress hashtag what. You see, you must speak appropriate language so that we are on the same par. I get it? When we conclude a meeting, there's no misunderstanding. Or no, I thought the other one said this, and then, in fact, they meant the other thing. So it's very important that we expose our youth to these things early on. And hence the establishment of this youth chamber. Because we need to provide the platform. Thank you, Stalwart. If we don't, who's going to do it? Kimango aratam black youth so much. I must do something for the black youth. Nobody. So it is our responsibility, it is our duty to make sure that we provide the platform. At this forum, you are going to commit mistakes. This is a protected platform for you to learn. And only when you commit mistakes and you learn from those mistakes, you are now learning. Because as we know, one of the famous writers said, if you are not committing any mistakes, you are doing nothing. And so I'm saying this also to my colleagues here in the front, whom we've brought along today to come and expose some of these opportunities to you, that we must allow the youth to fail. We must allow the youth to fail so they can learn from their mistakes. They're not perfect. We don't have institutions for them where we teach them perfection. Oh no, this is how you write a business letter. I've seen horror stories of youth who come for interviews on BBCBE, and then you just ask them to write a paragraph. Utamakala. Degree. But we can't then just sit back and do nothing about it. We must then say, what do we do to assist, to empower them? So what I'm saying, colleagues, is that in your area of influence, in the space where you've got control, let's make sure that we accommodate the youth. And let's allow them to fail. Things must happen differently this time around. We are the only nation that can be able to read everything internationally and even import it, but we don't want to practice anything. We are the first ones to tell you that in the US, a business person is allowed to fail 6-7 times, and they still go back to the banks and they still get funded. But to come to South Africa, we read about it every day. We even send delegations overseas. Every time when you look at the budget at departments, the human settlements, they go everywhere. They go and learn. Every day, there are delegations from government of people going to learn. Well, what are we learning for? If we are not integrating what we've learned into our day-to-day activities, for what, CEO? If those facts are not discovered, we don't use them. Why are we spending so much money sending people everywhere, global, to go and learn? But they come back, we still confront the same problems that we were confronted with 10 years ago. What are we learning? So I'm saying that our youth must be allowed to fail. If they don't fail and learn from the experiences through opportunities that we have given them, who must give them those opportunities? Somebody must show me that person. Who's going to assist our youth except ourselves? Somebody must show me that person. Who will assist our youth to fail and learn? Our government seems to be giving this problem to someone else. It can't be someone else's problem. It is our government's problem, together with the institutions that are supporting government, such as the BBCBE. It is our collective problem to see to it that our youth are empowered. Finish and clear. Another solution, which one is that solution? Then reassess. For now, that's what we know, that's what we'll keep to, until someone else tells us something new. Enrique, can a presentation? Introductory remarks. So, who are we as the Black Business Council in the built environment? This is our slogan. We say we lead transformation. Hari outsource, hari subcontract. We do it ourselves. When we wake up in the morning, we ask ourselves one simple question. What is it that we can do today? What initiatives can we implement today to ensure that transformation happens in our industry? That's us. We are not going to give it to someone else or responsibility high to empower us and to transform the industry within which we play. It's our primary responsibility. Therefore, we lead transformation. Second, I think this was covered partly by the presentation that was done by the program director to be the foremost transformation agent in the South African built environment landscape. When people think BBCBE, they must know what we stand for. And they must know that the primary reason for our existence is to make sure that the built environment landscape is transformed so that all of us can have a space to play. All of us. Next one. This was also covered. Next one. In terms of our institutional alignment, we are members of the Black Business Council. The Black Business Council, ladies and gentlemen, is the foremost organization representing black business across the country. In terms of institutional alignment nationally, at that level, when we are looking at white business, Bona, they fall under BUSA. And then Black Business Council. So, as an institution that has as its primary mandate the empowerment of black people, we then subscribe to and are members of the Black Business Council. Now, under the Black Business Council, at the moment, and the figures change almost daily, I think there's about 57 organizations under the Black Business Council. Some of the most famous ones that you know are the likes of NAFCOC. Some of the famous ones that you know are the likes of Black Management Forum, BMF. But under the BBC, ladies and gentlemen, we are categorized in terms of two categories of membership. The first one is the category of membership that has got business organizations, just like NAFCOC, FABCOs, and so on and so forth. I've got one there, SAMDA, which is South African Mining Development Agency. So these are business associations, meaning that they represent business people. The other category of members under the Black Business Council is that category that caters for black professionals. BMF is one of those. Okay, these are our black brothers and sisters that are our employees, Rabahira, because they are managers in our businesses. Okay, Baban, they are members of APSIP. APSIP, for instance, represents black professionals in the financial services industry. So most of the guys in the banks, in the asset management businesses, in the securities businesses, those are guys that fall under APSIP, and so on and so forth. But broadly, it is two categories, all right? Business associations and then professional associations. So that's how the Black Business Council is structured. So as a business organization, ourselves, we fall under business associations, but the unique thing about the BBCBE is that we also have professionals, right? So we sort of like fall under both categories, but our main activity falls under business. Now, as far as our structure is concerned as the BBCBE, we also have our own member associations. Ntate Maponya spoke about those earlier. I will show you the fuller list later on. And we have corporate members. So those are corporate members that are members of the BBCBE directly and not through business associations. Next. Right, so I know at the back you will not see this, but in short, the organization was established in 2007. We are 11 years old this year, and we are a business chamber, in short. That's what we are. We are a pressure group. Our job is to make sure that the environment within which you operate is conducive for you to do so. In short, in simple terms, there are many things that we do to make sure that that happens. But the basic principle here is that the BBCBE is a business organization that is a business chamber at its simplest formation. We are, as I said, affiliated to the BBC, and across our various member associations as well as corporates, we are estimating our membership to be currently nationally standing at around 5,000. The next slide. Right, again, you will not see this at the back, but just to highlight a few things from this slide. And the most important one is that we promote the high standards of professionalism in the industry. Professionalism in the industry. This is very important, especially to you, the youth. That we want to see you running professional businesses. We want to see you being a professional in what you do. Have respect for what you do and be able to display that level of professionalism in everything that you do. It's very important. And it's not to say professionalism. How you talk to people. How you handshake people. Yes. Man BBCB money rebata professionals. Can you die? Hey. Yes. It's not to say before we go into the whole, let's just talk about the basics. Let's just talk about the basics. So how do we now can say a hood like the gentleman over there? No. Ukolo inana bitir. Because Nike can say tayak. Yes, I've got a meeting with you. So keep prepared for the meeting. He can say tie. He can say the bike yak. Because I take you seriously. I get it. Jal how when I say appropriately dressed under this band of professionalism. So that we can go and dress appropriately, then we can have a meeting. This is very important, colleagues. You see, some people think that no, so and so forth. You lose opportunities because of how you dress. Yes. Finish. So we must tell you that. Don't discover after you've lost 20 opportunities. Why now am I not getting anything? But my CV is right. My It's your presentation. It's your presentation. So we are mentoring you. Or when you go clubbing, it's different in Yana from when you go to a business meeting. Hey, when you go clubbing, Kenya, how? You know, you can wear whatever you want. You are going clubbing. The conditions are different from when we are having a business meeting where formal issues are going to be discussed. So professionalism, even before now, what are your writing skills like? Let's talk soft issues. Soft issues. Because those are actually door openers. Before Rebanali CV how, we want to have an interaction with a person. Now, what are you all about? CV will say ed, CV will say ed. But the first thing, this level, before, your level of education, experience, how the door opener is you. No. Presence. The presence. The person has said nothing. Because only presence. It's not about when I disappoint, also your mouth. So going to say, but the fact of the matter, your presence, how you are, how you present yourself has opened the door for you. Very important. So before we go to the heart, let's talk basics. Right, next slide. Mewadisong Analemona Melaki was trying to explain, she's now registered with some council and so on and so forth. Now, all those councils, we at the BBCBE have a direct influence on those councils. The council she was talking about is called the ACCP CMP. Now, that council registers health and safety officers, project managers, construction project managers, and so on and so forth. There are 5 others outside of that one. Those registered engineers, architects, landscape architects, quantity surveyors, and so on and so forth. As the BBCB, our work covers all of those, including the council that they all report to, which is called the CBE, Council for the Built Environment. So when you go to all these councils, we actually play an active role in how their councils are constituted. So people that serve on the councils of these various councils that you see, that register you. Again, you go to school, you go and study to become an engineer. But when you are out there in the market, you are required to register as a professional engineer. Again, those councils, we play a role in how they operate. So some of us who are in the BBCBE have the additional responsibility of serving on those councils. Currently, I'm serving in a council that is that is not so popular, that of landscape architects. How many of you know landscape architecture? Makabat, you are discounted. Well, now you are discounted. I was saying this to another audience the other evening that Mola Ribua Kabad about Barata di Garden. But when you look at that profession, you study the same time as a normal architect. Same time, 7 years. Yes? As a landscape architect, you study the same time as a normal architect, 7 years and. But when you look at the people that go in there, these are people that obviously have got a passion for the environment. So this will be your typical greeny beanie, tree hugger. But you must look at the amount of money that these guys make. I get how popular. It is not popular. So the guys that go in there are the guys that have got a passion for the environment, but also know that there is a lot of money that can be made out of that space. There is no building that gets approved today in South Africa without an input from a landscape architect. Hiyo. You understand? But the numbers of black people there are so low. Why? Because we've given it a wrong impression altogether. because re ke batho ba di-garden jwale ke re ho lona he ha bana ntse ba bapala di-gardening, let's allow them to hobane jwale they're going to make money out of liking these gardens. But people are making money. If you just go today to Waterfall, just look at what's happening there. Everything incorporates greenery. Everything must have green. Everything must have green.